A win is a win is a win, and the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark go up against the Las Vegas Aces and last year's MVP, A'ja Wilson, and walk away with a W, 80-70. Sophie Cunningham has been hot to trot. Sophie Cunningham has been on fire.
What happens when the Indiana Fever defeat A'ja Wilson's Las Vegas Aces despite losing their best player? The response will fundamentally alter your perception of this team. Her teammates handled things on the court as Caitlin Clark sat on the bench, hurt but still furious with the referees. When it counted most, Kelsey Mitchell lost 21 points. Additionally, Sophie Cunningham just emerged as the league's most attractive player. This was more than just a victory. The entire league was rocked by the statement. How, therefore, did the Fever achieve this convincing triumph? What did Sophie do in this game that caused her to become red? If you're angry, leave a redot comment, Sophie.
Come on.
Back in the W chat.
Oh, that was a gut check win right there. Oh, nothing in the chat.
Yes, it's Tasha Howard.
Right.
That was a fun one. My gosh, and these jerseys are
Imagine this. Your hero is sitting on the bench in street clothes due to a groin ailment, and your club just lost consecutive games to the Liberty. On July 24th, the Indiana Fever were walking back into Gainbridge Fieldhouse at precisely that location. The weight of those two consecutive defeats lingered in the atmosphere. The same question was being asked by everyone. Without Caitlin Clark, who would be the Fever?
Handoff Cunningham. Cunningham too strong. Mitchell able to save the day. And it's Mitchell going right to the rim. Beats the shot clock and lays it in. Mitchell to the rescue.
Sessions very disruptive, causing all kinds of havoc, late shot clock situations. And then Kelsey.
Only a portion of the story was revealed by the Fever's 12 wins and 12 losses. Their chances of making the playoffs were no longer the only thing being questioned by critics. For the whole season, they were penning obituaries. Social media was harsh. They were portrayed on sports talk shows as fakes who were revealed as soon as their superstar status faded. The story was straightforward and heartbreaking. You have nothing exceptional if you take away Clark. With each day that went by, the pressure increased. Seeding for the playoffs was at stake. Now, every game was important. A'ja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces, the consecutive champions who understood exactly how to scent blood in the water, stood in their way. Despite having a record of 12 wins and 11 losses going into Indianapolis, the Aces played like the seasoned winners they were.
Obviously, there's no timeline for Caitlin, but what has she been able to do this last week? Is it mostly just rehab recovery, or has she been able to do any kinds of practice?
Yeah, no, I mean, we haven't really practiced since the couple days before All-Star break. So mostly rehab, shooting, and she's been with our athletic training team, and we've been preparing everybody else.
More than anyone, Coach Stephanie White was burdened by this situation. She was aware that every aspect of her team's identity will be defined by this game. Were they just another club that needed their star player to have any chance of winning, or were they real competitors capable of taking on top teams? When doubt began to enter into everyone's thoughts, White needed to find the proper words to connect with her team.
Steph, Caitlin presents a challenge in itself for any opponent, but when she doesn't play, how is your team different?
I think our ball moves differently. What we run is different. She has such gravity and her ability, not just to be the top of the scouting report, but her ability to make everybody better with the ball in her hands. So some of the things that we run are different when she's on the floor than when she's not. We run some more off-ball stuff, a lot less on-ball action.
The Aces appeared self-assured, perhaps even arrogant. During warm-ups, you could see it in their body language. The instant Clark was hurt, A'ja Wilson and her Olympic teammates most likely marked this game on their calendars. This was their perfect chance to confirm what many had long suspected, that the Fever was just a one-woman show masquerading as a basketball team. Over the previous 2 seasons, Wilson had been struggling with her own jealousy of Clark. She now had the opportunity to prove to everyone who the true MVP was. This was probably the Aces' opportunity to make a statement and remind the league that titles are more important than hype. However, this is where the narrative takes a surprising turn that no one anticipated. Counting everyone out is sometimes the finest thing that can happen to a team. Every question served as fuel for the Fever. They turned their greatest vulnerability into their greatest asset. The WNBA as a whole would be shocked by what transpired next, indicating that this club was far from done. The Fever were on the verge of demonstrating that champions aren't created in a perfect world. When everything goes wrong, they are created.
Yeah, it's definitely a relief to know that there's nothing else going on and no more damage. Now it's just being patient with the process. You can't have 5-minute lapses against great teams. They make you pay and they bury you in those moments. I think we've seen, throughout the course of the season, where we've been really good for long stretches and where we've weathered the ups and downs of a game, and we've got to be able to do that from a neutral mindset. We can't get into the playing conservative.
Sometimes the quietest member of your squad stands up to save the day. Kelsey Mitchell was prepared for her turn. Throughout the season, Mitchell's erratic performance had drawn criticism. She vanished when the Fever needed to be scored the most, according to critics. Their ideas were also supported by the numbers. When it mattered, Mitchell would shoot 3 for 15 the following game after going off for 20 points one night.
Let's go! Okay, we answered runs today, y'all. We had one another's back today, y'all. In the moments where it seemed like they could have made a little bit of a comeback, we stopped that. Yeah, we sure did. Now we have to be able to continue to stack that, maintain that consistency right there. I'm so proud of you guys. So proud of you guys. That was a hard-fought win. You earned it. We got on 3, 1, 2, 3 together.
Those suspicions appeared to be entirely warranted early in this game against the Aces. Mitchell appeared completely out of rhythm and missed her first several attempts. With each unsuccessful try, you could see the frustration growing on her face. At Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the audience became agitated. Without Clark's playmaking magic, they could feel the Fever's offense collapsing. Mitchell felt every single miss dragging on her shoulders. Every time a shot failed to fall, the pressure increased. After 3 quarters, she was 4 of 19 from the field. In pivotal games, players with such kinds of numbers are benched. Stephanie White, the coach, had a different idea. During a break, White drew Mitchell away and gave him the lesson that would turn things around. Let it soar. White warned her star guard. It's going to go. Mitchell was precisely where she needed to be. Hear those straightforward comments. In order to make better reads and choices, White also advised Mitchell to maintain balance when attacking the rim. In ways that aren't always evident in the box score, Mitchell's teammates began to support her. The ball was fed to her in more advantageous places. To persuade her to open up, they set harsher screens. They made it possible for Mitchell to regain her rhythm and self-assurance.
Wilson thought about the 3. Cunningham feed inside. Boston spinning, turning, ducking, finding Mitchell, who splashes home a 3.
Then, in the second half, something simply clicked. Mitchell began making shots from every angle on the court. Her quickness started to pose a serious threat to the A's defense. She was finishing through contact and driving hard to the basket. Pulling up for mid-range jumpers, she found nothing but net.
Really fun. Couple of former teammates. Played 2 years together.
Clear out. Take it.
Mitchell sizing up Lloyd. She will launch and bury a 3.
Get out of the way. Mitchell pulling the trigger from deep. Fever up 9.
When the game was on the line, the fourth quarter turned into Mitchell's showcase. In those last 12 minutes, she scored 9 important points. When it counted most, she was 4 out of 5 from the field. In addition, Mitchell tied for the team high with 4 assists. She was taking over the scoring load and creating plays for her teammates.
Got 2 really good offensive coaches over there on the sideline.
Mitchell finds a cutting Boston, who lays it in. From Mitchell here on this one.
So you don't want anybody to cut across the front of your face, but it's just a really good delivery.
Mitchell silenced every critic who doubted her ability to lead the squad in crucial situations with her last 21 points. After their defeat to the Liberty, She exhibited the mental toughness she had discussed. Her performance demonstrated that the Fever possessed a number of players who could take over games when necessary. Replacing Clark's production wasn't the only goal here. This was about Mitchell taking on the leadership role that this squad has always needed.
Offense was not the issue for Indiana on Tuesday. They put up 84 points despite the absence of Caitlin Clark. Cunningham hit 5 threes, and it's her first tonight. Stay with Indiana.
So Sophie Cunningham doing a really good job of reading the stagger. You have options off that, and she's reading the...
While all eyes were on who would score in Clark's stead, Sophie Cunningham quietly emerged as the league's most dangerous shooter. She was on a blistering hot streak going into this game versus the Aces, having reached double figures in 6 consecutive games. It was becoming impossible to ignore the numbers. Cunningham was making 3.0 three-pointers per night while averaging 13.7 points and 4.7 rebounds per game.
Playing for Sophie Cunningham to start again tonight, or what's your...
Yes.
What is it about her, I guess, at the start of a game that you like having her in the lineup?
Another ball handler, another player who can create shots for her teammates, as well as stretch the floor. A really good defensive rebounder as well. We had at times really struggled from a defensive rebounding standpoint, so like that as well. And her energy.
Her ability to continue shooting well wasn't the question. Everyone was aware of Cunningham's shooting prowess. The true challenge was whether she could keep up her amazing speed in the face of top-tier opponents like A'ja Wilson's championship team. Now the pressure was different. Teams began designing their strategies with her hot shooting in mind. The figures were nearly unbelievable. Over the previous 6 games, Cunningham's three-point shooting percentage was 58.1%. She was the WNBA's hottest shooter in July thanks to that percent. Additionally, these weren't garbage time threes. When her team needed it most, she was making clutch shots.
This run continues, but Cunningham able to put an end to...
When the lights were at their brightest, Cunningham stepped up against the Aces. Out of 4 attempts from beyond the arc, she was successful in 3 of them. Her 15 points were more than just a statistic. The Aces were prevented from making a significant comeback attempt by these precisely timed daggers. Cunningham would destroy Las Vegas' aspirations by draining another 3 each time they began to gain momentum.
You had Melissa Smith on you. I would just clear it out if you're Mitchell. Just tell everybody to go to the other side of the floor.
Cunningham straight away delivers with a 3.
Or that.
It's not simply her shooting that sets Cunningham apart. When necessary, she offers leadership, defense, and rebounding. She was particularly pushed into the starting lineup by coach Stephanie White to capitalize on her energy and adaptability. Cunningham's ability to spread the floor, grab rebounds on defense, and assist on offense was commended by White. She referred to Cunningham as an additional ball handler and shot maker. She is now a viable contender for 6th Player of the Year, according to basketball analysts. Who else even comes close, really? Because of her ability to make clutch shots, one commentator referred to her as an ultimate assassin. She is a strong candidate for the award because of her steady scoring and influence off the bench.
Vegas has done a nice job coming on the road, keeping Indiana Fever in check offensively, and Sophie Cunningham, you cannot lose.
The Fever now has a scoring danger that no one anticipated thanks to Cunningham's development from role player to serious weapon. From being a complementary piece, she developed into one of the league's most dangerous shooters. Some supporters even claim that anyone who denies Sophie Cunningham's skills should apologize to her. Her clutch gene and consistency have become the ideal complement to this team's championship goals. Caitlin Clark will be joining a squad with another experienced scorer who can change the course of the game when she recovers from her injury. Cunningham has demonstrated that she belongs on the biggest platform in basketball. McDonald came up to make the shot that would define this entire victory with 35 seconds remaining and the game on the line. Everyone knew that the Fever's 5-point lead was insufficient against a championship team like Las Vegas. Throughout the whole 4th quarter, the Aces had been eroding Indiana's lead. If Las Vegas got a stop and made their shots, they still had enough time to steal this game. In an attempt to give A'ja Wilson's squad one last chance to make the playoffs, McDonald caught the ball at the top of the arc. McDonald was under a great deal of pressure at the time. Give the two-time winner's life to finish their comeback if you miss this opportunity. Make it and totally dash their dreams. McDonald didn't even think twice. With the assurance of a player who belonged in this situation, she stood up. It was a gutsy step-back three-pointer. McDonald knew exactly what that shot would imply for her team's season when she fired it. Like it was always supposed to go in, the three-pointer swished through the net. The shot crushed the A's spirit and increased the lead.
Vegas got it locked in right here. One-on-one.
Donald pulls up and hits a three. But Lloyd got open on the other end.
The audience at Gainbridge Fieldhouse went into a frenzy. They were aware that they had just seen something unique. In this game, McDonald's three-point shooting was flawless. With 9 points for assists and 2 steals in 22 minutes, she had an excellent overall performance. However, she only made one attempt in the fourth quarter. That crucial three. When it counts most, let's talk about making it matter. Throughout the entire game, Natasha Howard's commanding 18 points and 13 rebounds laid the groundwork. Howard dominated both ends of the court and pulled down 3 steals. She discussed how defense initiates an offensive attack. Our attack is sparked by our defense. After the game, Howard remarked, "Our offense is flowing when defense is going." However, Howard's outstanding performance was well complemented by McDonald's shot.
Well, first of all, I started off with our defense. Our defense to get our offense going, and that's how we maintain games like that. We don't rely on our offense a lot. We rely on our defense to get when our defense is going, our offense is going. So we limited the Vegas to 1 shot, and that's how we got open shots for the shooters inside the paint and everything.
In delight, even Caitlin Clark leaped off the bench. Despite wearing city clothes and having that groin ailment, her competitive fire was blazing brightly. Throughout the entire game, Clark was totally focused. Following McDonald's clutch shot, she was bouncing up and down. When Clark's teammates performed without her, you could see the happiness and excitement on her face. In addition to securing the victory, McDonald's crucial three-pointer also won the season series tiebreaker, which might decide playoff seeding. The Fever's record versus Las Vegas is now 2-1. When it comes to determining playoff positioning, that tiebreaker edge can be crucial. This was more than a typical season triumph. It was a declaration of what this team is capable of. This was more than a victory. The Indiana Fever are prepared for championship runs in 2025 and beyond, according to the statement. This team's defensive identity, Cunningham's shooting, and Mitchell's leadership have combined to produce something unique that transcends any one player. They are currently ranked 6th in the WNBA standings with a 13-win, 12-loss record. More significantly, they won the season series tiebreaker against Las Vegas, which may be crucial for a postseason berth. Caitlin Clark will be joining a team that recently demonstrated their ability to defeat anyone, anywhere, at any time, after she recovers. Indiana appears to have a very promising future. Red hot comment, if you're angry, Sophie. To ensure you never miss anything, like, subscribe, and enable all notifications. We'll see you in the following video when you click the one on the screen.